addressed, including environment and security. And right now, we want to delve deeper into matters to do with the environment. And as you know, Kenya is one of the countries that will be phasing out the use of plastic bags come August. And the big headache now is what alternatives are in the market. Joining me right now is Kwesi Donko, who works for e-Power, and he'll be giving us more details on what to expect in terms of solutions that one can use in terms of biodegradable technology. Well, we have some samples on the table, but Kwesi, really looking at this drive towards becoming a country that doesn't use plastic bags is geared towards avoiding pollution, avoiding waste. You come from Ghana, you've seen a number of countries like Rwanda. They've already gone that route. What should we expect as we prepare to transition in this journey?
As with any change, there's always going to be some kind of resistance. But I believe what the government is doing here, it's very good. It's about time. Kenya is already a leader economically in the East African sub-region. So I think it's just right that they take the leadership role in moving towards a plastic-free environment. Mm-hmm. So we should expect good things. There are alternatives. There's this rumor that what are we going to do? There will be no alternatives, but there are good alternatives which will benefit both the consumer as well as the individual Kenyan in the country.
All right. And of course, Kwesi, these particular bags that you have with us are incidentally made out of cassava. And I know it's hard to believe, but we'll be showing you some of the interesting aspects around this. Even the smell, it has a cassava smell, and you should be able to know what it takes to make this. Perhaps, Kwesi, looking at this kind of approach towards coming up with solutions, how has the success been like in terms of your company?
We initially started in Indonesia. The company Avani, which is a partner, was started by Kevin Kumala. He's an avid surfer. He just got fed up with surfing and being surrounded by plastic, and it felt to him like he was surfing on plastic. So he came up with the idea of creating a bag that would be absolutely terrific and would not in any way impact the environment in any way after it's broken down. So he went with different products and finally came up with the cassava bag. This bag is entirely made out of cassava, starch. We don't use the cassava that's consumed by the consumer. We use industrial cassava, so there will be no conflict as to whether there will be a shortage of cassava when we go into heavy production. So this is entirely made of cassava. It dissolves in water after use, and it's very strong.
So really, looking at this kind of technologies, what would it take to roll it out in a massive scale, perhaps say in Kenya? Do we have the supply component addressed in terms of the raw materials?
Well, first of all, we are going to need a lot of cassava. In Indonesia, where the factory is based currently, Indonesia is one of the world's biggest growers of cassava, so getting cassava will not be a problem. But our dream here is to employ Kenyans. We want to bring it to Kenya. I want everything about it to be Kenyan. We want Kenya to be the leader. So we are going to site our factory here. In the initial stages, we are going to be importing the bags. But the long goal, the long-term plan is to have the factory here made by Kenyans, given a Kenyan name, Imhogo Mfoko Kasa bag, and it's going to be entirely owned by Kenyans. So we are going to have enough cassava in the future. Right now, we may not have enough, but our plan is to cultivate cassava here in Kenya and create employment here in Kenya for Kenyans.
And looking at this technology as well, one would ask, how much would it cost? Is it better in terms of the cost approach? Because I would like to think it's likely to be more expensive compared to the other kind of bags we used to have, the plastic ones.
Absolutely. Nothing can be as cheap as plastic. I always say that plastic, the cost of using plastic is cheap, but the after effects is priceless. These bags are, in general, biodegradable bags are about 2.5 times to 3 times the cost of plastic. You just can't beat plastic. Plastic is just everywhere. It's just too cheap. But this is going to be affordable as soon as we bring the factory. For now, it's going to be slightly expensive, maybe 2.5, 3 times. Not crazy expensive, but it will go down.
And what's the shelf life? How long can one use it?
You can use it as many times. Look how you just put your iPad or tablet into it, and you just folded it back up, and it's still the same. Even though it dissolves in water, when it rains, it's not going to dissolve in your hand. It's stronger than that.
Are you sure?
Yes. So
it has to be hot water.
Hot water. It has to be submerged in hot water and stirred for a while. Now, under normal circumstances with regular water, it will soften and it will decompose faster.
All right.
This thing will disappear if you bury it in 30 days or less. It will be gone.
I know there's a plan by your company to supply as a first-time project in Kenya with Uchumi. Talk to us about this deal and how much was it and what quantities should we start seeing coming through?
Absolutely. I met the great team of Uchumi. I met Ken, who is a procurement manager, and I met Dr. Kip. I call him Dr. Kip, the CEO. Great team at Uchumi. They loved the idea. What we are going to do is we're going to use them as the launching pad, as the poster child. So we are going to form a partnership with Uchumi, whereby what I want to do is I want to make sure that the product is available en masse to everybody. So in about a week or two, we're going to launch it with Uchumi. The bags will be used by Uchumi in the supermarkets to carry stuff. And then we're also going to do the general ones for the general market so that you can go in and go buy a pack of 10, a pack of 15, a pack of 20, and just use it as you wish.
So this is one of the samples, I want to believe so.
Absolutely.
And perhaps what's the use of this really?
This is a carrier bag. I think you call it paper bags here. So this is a medium-sized carrier bag. And as you can see, we have this is our I'm Not Plastic campaign that we have. It's going to have the 100% made from cassava. So this can carry up to 4 kilograms. It's very strong. So, and it will not dissolve in the rain, but after use, it will dissolve in water. It's very strong.
I can see you have different sizes, but I don't know if we can be able to perhaps do an experiment.
No problem.
Throw it in hot water and just try to see can it get to work or not. Of course, this technology coming through from Indonesia.
Absolutely.
And talk to us about some of the countries as we organize for the hot water to come. Talk to us about other markets and how this has been successful and really where are some of the countries that are using this in terms of environmental conservation?
Absolutely. We are very big in Indonesia. We work with a number of boutiques and stores. As you can see from these bags, they can be used by different boutiques, by different stores. Everybody can use these bags. So we are working with a number of companies in Indonesia. Duffy's, which is with this bag, right? They own over 1,700 stores. And in Africa, we are in Rwanda. Rwanda is already, they banned plastic in 2008. They're way ahead. So we are in Rwanda. We are entering Uganda. We are going to be entering Tanzania as well. And then in Ghana, we are working with the government towards an effective ban on plastic. But they want to make sure that we're able to produce enough to meet the capacity. They don't want to do the ban and then there's a shortfall. So we are working in Ghana as well. But we are very big in East Africa.
All right. And looking at the broader picture, what's your end game really in terms of investing in Africa and investing in Kenya really, looking at the massive scale East Africa has, a population of over 200 million consumers?
This is a game changer. If implemented right, with the right support from the government, this could provide massive employment because for the first time, we are going to be growing our paper bags. We are going to be growing these cassava bags because think about it. This, after use, can also be composted. It can become fertilizer. There's a method in Asia called the Takakura method, where you can gather all these bags and you can compost it and you can give it out as free fertilizer to the horticulturists, to the small-scale farmers. And then if you decide to burn this thing, it just becomes like a teeny bit of ash and you can just blow it away.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I now want us to try it out and perhaps in case you're wondering, does this technology really work? Let me now take a stand and let's do an experiment as to whether does it work really. And we have some hot water with us here in studio. Let me quickly get it. And we want to try it out with Kwesi here. Kwesi, I hope people can be able to see. So this is hot water. And we just want to try it out and see does it really work or not. And really, is it genuine technology or not? So Kwesi, the honors onto you.
Absolutely. As you can tell here, we have different bags. We make garbage bags as well as the shopping bags. So I'm going to take a piece of this garbage bag, which is very strong, by the way. And I'm going to...
So this is a cassava bag?
Yes, garbage bag.
Garbage
bag. I hope
bag.
the water is hot enough. So I'm going to put it in here. And as you can see, it's already breaking down. It's becoming very soft. So you put it in here. And then if I get something, here you go. To stir it.
Whoa. It's like
So,
kinimacho.
so after stirring for a while, with 3 to 5 minutes, it's going to completely break down. As you can see, it's already breaking down.
Okay. Wow. So what you're doing right now, you're stirring the garbage bag that you can carry with your garbage in the house, and ideally it is biodegradable technology. And what you can see right now, the same size we had cut has sort of shrunk. Our hot water isn't that hot, but at least you can be able to see it's beginning to react. And
absolutely.
I understand you can also drink the water.
Yes, it's actually safe to drink, actually.
Oh, wow.
Because it's safe. Animals can consume it, cattle can eat it, you're not going to die. So this is an end to the situations where we're going to have our herdsmen losing thousands and thousands of sheep and cattle to plastic. No more. You can eat this, you can drink it, you're not going to die. It has passed several oral toxicity tests. It's perfect. Fish can eat it, anything. You can taste it too if you want.
All right. Well, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and perhaps I'll be able to sample it and let's see whether it's true or not. But we've been speaking there to Kwesi, who is trying to show us the new technologies on matters to do with biodegradable paper. And we want to take that break right now. We still have much more lined up for you.
This is KTN News.